Hi everyone. I had to do a second video clip. I accidentally pressed that, but that's okay. That video clip's 30 minutes long, so I'll just continue it. So I'll do part two on this one. So today's date's the 30th of April 2025. So I'll be just doing the usual finishing off and continuing from the last clip. This is part two of the first clip that I've just put on for this topic that I'm continuing with. So welcome to Authentic Ingenuity Entrepreneur. My name is Minna Crichton, and I'm the narrator of this video clip, and anything to do about myself. It's all about me for the purpose of my court case, and also claiming my right as a human being, legally, publicly, and also contesting any secret societies who have secretly used me without consent, and also for the purpose of my criminal court cases and my civil cases that's currently pending in the courts. Okay, no doubt I've been stuck in the love triangle, okay, and I am, believe it or not, entitled to have someone that I choose to be with, or whoever I decide. If I want to remarry, I can remarry. I don't need anyone's permission, and nor does Henry. We're both very similar in nature. We do not care what the public thinks, but we both know exactly what we want. We've just had a lot of opposing everything, and that hasn't stopped, or the secret society hasn't stopped. So I'm keeping the evidence in the moment just in case anything happens. Also, it's a safety issue, okay, and also a self-defense, and also mainly for my court cases too, and for those that are honest people like myself, who is straight and no nonsense about people breaking laws and stealing, and is not into this new age system where they're using substitutes to animate and deceive the public and secretly stealing what's rightfully belongs to the originals. Okay, so but this is the new age system. Okay, it does everything I have gone through is illegal. Everything everyone has done to me but without my consent is illegal. So I'm the original, meaning everybody else that has used me, I'll just leave that up to God, whatever happens to them, because that's not my business. I'm just concerned with my evidence in the moment, and my personal property, and my profile, and the truth being told as the truth, and also as the victim of crimes. All right, guys, so we're dealing with in the moment evidence. With using everything I am talking about as an example, and all the historical animation of using other women in my case, so that the same thing could be happening with the men in the original. I believe that's what's happened too with Henry, but it is a conspiracy. It's several perpetrators conspiracy. No other word for it. Okay, so they are breaking the law. The environment is serious and it's dangerous. This game actually is dependent on winning by deception. Okay, everything in regards to your original, or for those people that are animating, they are secretly dependent on the public alliances to do the damage. Okay, their motive and intent is to steal by deception. So everything about them is fake. Everything about them is fraud. They have not done anything or earn respect the right way. But these women are being groomed by their country. So the best way I can describe it, it is internal, meaning the government. It's a game, global, which actually involves the government globally. Okay, so it can be anyone globally, and also it involves the original. So I'm actually the original. Okay, but these women all represent the criminal alliances that opposes me. All right, I'm the original. It's my life, my energy, and they're stealing my character, stealing my happiness, stealing everything that I'm doing. Okay, so but all these people are all fake. So according to the law, they can all be charged for conspiracy. All right, and for the length of time and the repetitive of it all, it's, the emotion of intent is not innocent, meaning then they are an offender. In my case, they're not the innocent victims or anything like that. They are being used to steal. Okay, so I'm denouncing all that still. Okay, I'm denouncing what the social media is going on about. So the whole purpose of the social media platform is to cause an alliance and a deception. So the environment is fraud, it's deception. I'm having a real life, conversation with Henry in the moment, but then we've got all these people secretly stealing and creating evidence. Okay, they're creating evidence over, like, they're interpreting in their own words. I can just tell that they're setting me up in the moment. Okay, I can tell. That's why I feel I need to do this. Okay, so then in the moment these people can get caught out and get charged for conspiracy, there's nothing in legislation that gives any secret society the free will to break the law. Okay, so if you're being a public nuisance, because like these women that do come out and is being groomed by other people walking around, they're actually, according to me, they are a public nuisance, because I know their motive and intent, because there has been a consistency of men or women doing that to me in my personal space, meaning I'm blocked, I can't go forward, but they're stealing my energy, they're walking around like zombies, and it's an unsafe environment. Okay, so they've got devious, the word is devious. Okay, they got devious motive and intent. Okay, so they're there for the wrong reasons, all about money, or they're trying to steal. Okay, that's what they're doing. The disappointing thing I have discovered in reality, how the Commonwealth game takes, is that those in government that finds me a threat, how they've actually turned it into a Commonwealth game against one single individual. Okay, so Moana's Croatian. Going backwards, I know the Croatians were in my space stealing or stalking or criminally alliance. Okay, I knew that because a victim knows exactly who the perpetrators are because they've been in my space. But she is definitely, the Croatians all supported her. Aotearoa back in the days, all the extremists. I'm not speaking for every one of them, because a lot of them, they're not, like, if everybody knew the truth, they would not even have a bar of it. All right, but this is what they've done. And just a tip of the day, I mean, if you guys are worried about your land or your property, you all need to listen to the correct person, because these methods they are using on me is exactly the same method they will use on you. The same methods they will use to steal, break up your relationship, steal your business. What everyone has done to me, these methods is what they will do. This is what they're doing, just from a privacy breach, and after studying the person over years and years and years. Okay, so the recent person also is this person here. I don't know, maybe they do it just for the money, or but I'm just dealing in the moment with my situation. But this person here, Amy Denton, I'm sorry, but you've been groomed, and all it's happening, and Natalie Visky, so we still denounce that. I'll carry on with the evidence, but this person here, she's Tongan, but the problem is that all of the Tongans have participated in the game, but I blame the European or the white supremacists, because they're all grooming these people. Okay, it's a game to them, but it's fraud. All right. It's quite serious because you guys are. I'm the victim, even though they've made me like the ogre. Okay, the Hindus are behind this. Okay, definitely, like all the defendants, they all the extremists they're all joining forces. So all the defendants in my court cases, it's a cultural global game. Okay, so, but sad thing about it is the white supremacists are using the cultural people, to actually, with the hope that they will help them. Okay, so I like to stop anything from going legally or stopping me from getting my justice. They're blocking the victim. You guys can all go along with the game, but you're talking about going back to 2010 when all hell broke loose, and now today, they've taken down a church. In a Church of Christ New Zealand that I actually was a member too, and this is where it kind of all started. So according to the law, any church-going people are vulnerable adults. Why? Because they mind their own business. Yeah, people gossip, but that's human nature. But they shouldn't be linking themselves to people in my private life. That's what's happened. Okay, and as for Natalie Visky, so that hasn't changed, and Henry's not with her, but I'll just carry on, okay? And this person here, Chai, she's Asian. I have a reason to believe, Echo and Chai have a reason to believe that they both were working for the police, okay? So there's a clear consistency of a pattern. Whether you work for the police, you shouldn't be doing what you did to me. Okay, but anyway, what I just wanted to say. So the game is psychological and mental abuse, and I have reacted to it because if you think about how long they've done this to an individual, that's serious, absolutely serious. But anyways, just going with it in the moment, and they've. Spiritually speaking, or spiritually, as far as trying to describe a breach, it only takes one person in your family for them to go along with it. Okay, so the government are cheating in the way of they are cheating in their court cases. Okay, because it's quite serious what they've done to me. It's unlawful strikes. A lot of people have committed perjury. So, according to the law, I am what you call a whistleblower. Okay, so I am what you call a whistleblower. Okay, a whistleblower is not a person that is, committing fraud. They're the person complaining about how they're being treated, or anything that is wrong. Okay, anything that may be abuse or their rights taken away, and that's exactly the category legally by law. This is what they would classify me as. So what I have found, I'm definitely a whistleblower, and I'm definitely the aggrieved complainant. So that's why you get, a reaction from an aggrieved complainant because of the abuse, and because I know that I've done every single thing right according to the law, only to have people sabotage my case. But they only need one person in your private life to be a spy or to be a Judas Iscariot. Okay? That is what, according to the Bible, we know that Jesus was betrayed and by gossip, defamation, and everyone turned on him. Okay, so he is the image of God, spiritually speaking. That's what the Bible clearly, articulates. Okay, I'm not Jesus, everyone. Nowhere near it, and never ever will be. But people have used my religion as an excuse to do what they're doing to me, and then think they can get away with it. But going back to 2000, when Jesus' generation, I don't know if any of these laws existed, but just through gossip, jealousy and envy, everyone turned on him, and then the public went to choose, a thief over him, and then he ended up giving up his life, and then they murdered him. So according to the law in this generation, it's suicide because he gave up his life willingly. He knew that they were going to kill him, but then he had no choice, did he? And then the authorities killed him. They're doing that to me. They're using my Christian belief to do that to people at church. But the people that are doing all this, these are gay people, gay perpetrators, atheists, people who don't believe in God, murderers. You don't know who these people are, but they're doing exactly what they did back in Jesus' generation to me. Okay? And that, and then they have the nerve to come in my space and try and tell me to forgive. I forgive, but I also believe in biblically and legally, people are meant to be made accountable for the consequences of breaking the law, because these laws all existed in my lifetime, and they all come active because these laws happened while I was working for my employer. I'm just trying to explain, just common sense, really, theory. Okay, but in this generation, they are just using the misuse of devices and the hub desk, the call centers, after studying a person historically. Once they know all your family, then they slowly just use everyone, block people, and just take over one by one. And the fact that the police won't intervene, that still makes them criminally liable according to the law, because the complainant has made a complaint. And but we're talking about an advanced breach. We're talking about organised crime. And then who's to say that these people working in the government is the same criminal alliance, just protecting their own people? Okay, but it's still illegal. So a whistleblower really is the aggrieved person. So you can just go into my profile. You can find out, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, is to prove publicly of all the crimes that they've committed. Okay, so just keep in mind, I won't go on about this because I've already spoken about it in the last video clip. We're dealing with home invasion of someone's soul. Okay, trust me, there's nothing in the legislation that condones this. So everyone involved in stealing off me monetary wise, whether it's to use someone for a pecuniary advantage without their consent, charges will be laid after the fact. So it is a demolition of a human being. Okay, so this game, like I said, is reliant on somebody in church or somebody in your private life or somebody in your family just to be a spy or be an informant. And these people secretly go, agree, because they think that, they don't think about the consequences, because they actually think they're doing something right by helping those who are using them. Okay, but whoever is being the Judas Iscariot, okay, they are actually inciting and exalting each other. So if the person, the people used to betray you is if their nationality is Asian, then all of the Asian nationality are all ganging up on that individual. That's how they're also inciting and doing their ads on TV. That's how I know when they're talking about the game or me immediately. Okay. And as for like the female Amy Denton and Natalie Vasquiso, obviously that, they're all European and obviously come probably from money, but they're linked to my court cases. Okay, so they are actually inciting by using people's country. So the scary thing for the victim is it's a global game, and when these countries are participating in trying to kill one single person. Okay, historically that's what they've done. Okay, so if the traitor in your space is Māori, then and they're linked, and they have, first of all, the criminal barristers or investigators have to find the link to them, to the people in government. So if you're linked to somebody in government, that makes you a conspirator. The other thing about it, for the actual original, they're intimately using your family members to make you feel scared from doing what is right. They have actually done emotional blackmail in my space, threatening to kill somebody, whether it be one of my children. I mean, this has been going on to 2010. They've been doing this to me, and that has not changed. So I have to keep this in the moment. They can keep doing their threats, and I'll just keep on doing my opposing it my way, because I'm allowed, and that's on the government or those that are watching over me to catch them out and arrest them. But I'm just explaining the game, okay? And yes, I do know who is my traitor, okay? And no, I'm not going to be threatened. That is on you, okay? Those that know me they know that I do not care. I do not care who is the person that has committed the crime in my space, whether you are a family member or what, whether you are a friend, I do not care. If you've broken the law and you willingly purpose in your heart to participate in trying to, sabotage everything I'm doing so I can't advance, that is on you. But I'm just explaining the game. And so if you get caught, you're doing it willingly. I can say, though, that there are other times some of the victims don't even know. Like if I went back to 2010, okay, going back to Pastor King and the Moana clan, okay, gang, they didn't, a lot of the people in the church didn't know my occupation. None of them knew. Yes, I grew up in church since I was 10 and 11, but none of them knew that I was actually working in a very prominent job at that time. None of them knew, because that's how private I was. Not even my children knew, okay? And there was stuff in my life that I never told nobody, because I didn't. I didn't even tell my mum, didn't even tell my ex. That's evidence to prove that I'm not a gossipy person and that I'm actually very private. So the people that is criminally responsible are people that are doing unlawful investigation in my private life without my consent. Okay, so I'm going to keep the evidence in the moment. This also tells me that wherever I am, I'm being monitored, so people have access. So it's a clear case of intimacy and me denouncing the lies. If I don't denounce it, I'm not going to be buried in other people's lies. Okay, I won't have it. So I'll just carry on. So we're going back to the topic of being animated. This is where I finished off last. This is Henry's mum. This is her at the back. Henry took this photo just to show me, because I think he just wanted to give me peace, that I'm not being deceived, and that also he's telling me the truth. I don't know everything that's going on in his environment, but there's clear evidence that he too is being animated. But for me to be able to continue on with what I've been doing, he knows that he needs to satisfy me that he's not lying. Okay, he's not a liar. And I have been thinking a lot about the things, because most of our arguments over the years, or over the months and stuff, getting to know each other, is because of the public lies and because of the public deception. But I can actually confirm he's not a liar. Okay, so, but he does this just to give me the satisfaction that I'm still talking to the right him. Henry knows very well of my occupation. He knows very well. I mean, we've been nearly two years in July this year. We're still very close. Okay, we're both very open-minded about our future. No matter what, whether whatever happens, we will always be close. Okay, but this is he does this just to send me confirmation that and that gives me peace that I'm talking to the right person and no one is imposturing him. Okay, so he sent me this of his mum. Okay, this is the post office outside, and this is another an old lady. This is not Henry's mum coming out. So if you can see the difference, let's just go. Give me a sec. Okay, this is the rich people's game, and it's global, and this is what they're doing. Okay, so this is Henry's mum inside the shop. Okay, so inside the post office. Okay, and this here is the outside of the post office, but we've got a different lady coming out, and that's not Henry's mum. So basically I'm just showing you what animation is. Whether mum knows or Henry knows, Henry said that he just took that photo just to show me the outside of the post office. But I was just trying to explain to him of what I'm actually seeing of another case of an individual being animated. So this is what the substitutes are being used for, or the lookalike. Okay, so they're pretending to be Henry's mum, but it's not really her. So what they're actually doing is they're trying to say that everything I'm saying is fraud, and that whatever those women are saying they're the original. You get it? But according to the law, it's a conspiracy. Alright, so this here is another in-the-moment evidence photo sent from Henry to me, okay? Only to me, okay? He didn't send it to anybody else, only to me, because we're both private. We've already spoken about this, okay? So I told him I was going to do another video clip. He's told me I can do whatever I want as far as addressing any deception in public. He has my full support. So this here, he sent this photo to me. So this photo by right belongs to me and Henry, because Henry sent it. It doesn't belong to the public. No one's allowed to just retrieve it and use it, okay? So without him or I's consent. So Henry sent me this. And then as of when? Yesterday afternoon, because it's morning now, it's a new day, which would have been the 29th of August, this pops up on my screen. Okay, I actually don't go looking for things, okay? They come on my screen, and I was like, hang on. So this photo came up on YouTube. Exactly the same photo. And I said to him, did you give it to somebody? He says, no. He says, it's your phone. So it tells me that somebody is hacking my phone. So how can they hack my phone? They can only do it through the apps. I don't know. There's something the government has to go look into it, but that's a privacy breach. They also put it on YouTube without our permission. So that's serious. Because it's an illegal Commonwealth game, this is a tactic to tip off everybody. Okay? So Henry doesn't really understand everything I'm saying, but our case is a criminal case. It is a conspiracy, a global game. That is very serious, because we are both victims, minding our own business and trying to go forward without anyone's business, but because our lives are both in danger, and we both we're both sitting on money, okay? This is what I have to do for now. Okay, so this here, I'll see if I can find it on YouTube. What's it called? Actually, you guys can go find it on YouTube yourself. I just try not to make this video clip so long. It's called Henry's Trip Pick. Okay, oh yeah, I've actually looked at it. Have a look for it yourself, because I don't want to make this video clip too long. But no one should have this photo. Okay, so somebody internally, because I also noticed that whatever people do in their private, anything to do with Google or online, I don't know, Google has somehow gets to have access. So whoever's controlling Google, I mean, for them to go and put this on a YouTube channel, I'm quite sure the computer isn't like that they just goes and creates a YouTube video clip and put it on YouTube. But this is what I would call a criminal tactic, because it's a game. Okay, they're trying to sabotage us. People are trying to steal and even kill both of us. So I don't think a a computer is bright enough to put a video clip on YouTube. But what these people are doing, they're tipping off the public. They've taken, unless Henry gave this photo to someone or Henry created this himself, then that changes the crime scene. But from my point of view, somebody has taken this out of my camera. I asked him this because, he finds it quite frustrating, but, he trusts me. But I said to him, well, I need to know, did you send it to somebody? He said, no. He said, it's my phone. But my phone is actually brand new. My phone needs a fingerprint password most of the time. And if I do have a word password, it's pretty long. For a mate, it's like, how many letters is it? Okay, it's almost 10 letters in it. So I do that so then, because part of the things that I've gone through is I was glued to my perpetrators who were studying my mind, studying how I think while I was working for my employer. So I knew this is where it all started. They were studying how I think, how I do things, so then it's easy for them to hack or find out our passwords or, stuff like that. And this is how they are doing things. So we're dealing with conspirators behind the scene, playing games with people's liberty, stealing people's personal information. They're also doing this is also how they're cheating in their court cases. All right, everything they've done to me, this is how they are cheating. They're using the misuse of devices. This is why they're doing unlawful strikes. But this is the new age conspiracy. Okay, so Henry is aware of this. So no one should have this photo except me and Henry. This shouldn't even be on YouTube unless Henry did it himself. Okay, and he didn't. Okay, he didn't. He's already confirmed he didn't. Okay, and we still got Natalie Vasquiso going on about, that she's got the real Henry. Well, she hasn't, okay? This here, too, was on Facebook just yesterday. And then, he's sending out texts, and I'm thinking, okay. But and then you can see, looks like a child here sitting on a high chair. Okay, it looks like him too, but it's not. I had to show this to him, okay? And I said to him, well, why would you be sending out texts if you are with Natalie and the baby? Why would you be sending texts out like that? Why would he? He wouldn't, okay? Because that's not right. That's wrong. But anyway, I did confirm with him it's not him. It looks like I said, oh gosh, it does look like you. So yeah, we're still denouncing that, Natalie, okay? But this is what everyone is doing in between, creating evidence in the middle. It's a very serious situation, very serious, and the government has to do something about it. Apparently other celebrities have had the same problem, but it's because of what me and Henry are actually going through. It just so happens I'm able to identify all these things, but it is serious. Okay, fans using Henry's photos and pictures without his consent, that's illegal. That's unruly. Unless Henry, I told him that if anyone uses your identity without your permission, that's wrong. It's an offence.
Confidence for the vast majority of inspections to. By acknowledging JG who's been an advocate for many years.
All right. Let's just go through. Okay. Shit. Um, 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 right. Right. I think we're almost done. Um, Okay, what else are we looking at?